Ogoni, a community in Rivers State in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria, which gained its sustenance from farming and fishing, at some point experienced a huge environmental degradation and hydrocarbon pollution.
I happen to have come from the Ogoni land, where we have suffered. We are solely dependent on agriculture for our survival, and the land has hardly been devastated because of oil pollution.
Some of these women have been actually marginalized, from their traditional livelihood, which is mainly farming.
What today we call the Niger Delta problem was yesterday an Ogoni problem. We have lost a lot of human beings, we've lost a lot of resources, and a lot of potentials. But the government have been able to form HYPREP to be able to handle the remediation programs of the land.
The program which we are carrying out has to be focused on women only, and 400 women were shortlisted through the HYPREP to UNITAR, and which was passed on to us for training.
In 2016, the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP, was launched by the federal government with the intention of remediating the impacted lands and restoring the livelihood of Ogoni.
Today we'll be talking about one of the key mandates of HYPREP, which is the restoration of livelihood of Ogoni people.
As part of its commitment to restore the livelihood of Ogoni and its people, the federal government, through the Ministry of Environment and HYPREP, with support from the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, UNITAR, initiated the Ogoni Women Livelihood Program to train 1,200 Ogoni women in agribusiness and entrepreneurial skills, splitting them into 3 groups of 400 women.
Following the adoption of the 2030 Agenda, otherwise known as the SDG, with 17 goals and 169 target areas, UNITAR has actually revisited, our programmatic area and have included high-level strategies to be able to serve and support countries in achieving the objectives and the targets, of the SDG.
We have started the livelihood program with the training of 400 Ogoni women selected across the 4 local government areas of Ogoni land, Eleme, Tai, Gokana, and Kana local governments, 100 each from each local government.
I told you that we have the oral communication, or call it verbal communication, and the non-verbal communication. I said when it comes to the verbal communication, you have your pitch, your tone, and frequency.
The training program has a 2-stage implementation strategy. Stage 1 is a 4-week agribusiness skill training with a curriculum in poultry, fishery, crop production, agro-food processing, entrepreneurship, and business management.
The Women Livelihood Program is a 7-month training program. So we are just starting this program. You'll be on SONGHAI for 1 week to have basic orientation of the training program in your different skill areas.
SONGHAI team will take you through 1 week, and they will score you to us with that for the first 1 week. And like Madam Josephine have said from HYPREP, for every other stipend which was given will be given to you for transportation. That's her own part. But we will also issue to you a United Nations Institute of Training and Research certificate.
And this training is designed to last for 1 month of training and 6 months of post-training, which was designed in 2016. But due to some circumstances, project only started in 2020. And even when in 2020, we had the COVID situation, which also narrate the program. And the program actually kicked off on the 20th of July 2020.
The main objective of this program is to put revenue in the hands of the Ogoni women to help them overcome the challenges, both environmental, physical, mental, they may have experienced while the oil mining was going on in their area.
We have an MOU with the Ministry of Environment, and we have followed through the establishment of the three sort of structure that is for the governance of the Ogoni cleanup process, mainly the Governing Council, the Board of Trustees, and of course HYPREP. So we have actually, worked with these arms for governance to structure the program that we are implementing at the moment.
The governor of the state, as we have him here, is a governor that has a listening ear. His focus is on infrastructural development and also agricultural products. He is very determined in solving the needs of our people. He's ruggedly determined, and he will give every support at every point in time to be able to support us. Not too long, even while in the period of the COVID, not minding some of the consequences of what could be, when UNITAR came and approached the government, demanding that they working in partnership with SONGHAI and HYPREP to train the women in agriculture at SONGHAI farms. The governor took the bull by the horn and directed very strongly that they observe COVID situations and that the women must be trained.
SONGHAI Rivers Initiative Farm is one of the initiatives of the River State Sustainable Development Agency, RSSDA. And this initiative that you're seeing here is one in the area of agriculture.
Basically, our first area, which we feel strategically, helps to strengthen our goal is education. We have spent some time in education, and then we have also put a lot of resource and energy in agriculture. We understand that in a bid to be able to transform lives, through the program creation of sustainable alternative livelihoods, we have believed that agriculture has a potential to liberate critical mass of people, with the right tools. So therefore, we call the agriculture our biggest uptake that we put a lot of energy around.
Stage 2, which is the post-training, will feature acquisition of farmlands or facility for the trained beneficiaries and registration of participants into an outgrower network called cooperative in their individual local governments. This would guarantee market for all products, provision of agro-support services, and mentoring, which will last for 6 months.
This is to ensure that the program is sustainable, because in time past, they have carried out government programs, and then when you come back in another 1 year, 18 months, you cannot carry out an impact evaluation on those programs. HYPREP is not about to carry out such programs. Hence, we are doing a program for 7 months and setting up these women into cooperatives.
Farms have been secured by UNITAR from RSSDA, located in the 4 local governments. The women will be paired and clustered into 20s to do on a daily basis for a week, to run through for the remaining 3 weeks, which will complete the 1 month training after the 1 week intensive course training and accommodation training in SONGHAI.
To strengthen the outcomes of the program, we decided to contribute and introduce the Homestead Farm Initiative, which is being able to give every member, every participant of the program 21 days old brooded free-range birds this wood, which they would take home and start their homestead farm. Out of the 10, 3 of them will be cocks, and then the 7 will be hens, so that they can be able to produce within the home.
The beneficiaries go through a selection process within their communities based on the criteria set by HYPREP. 100 women each from the 4 local government areas in Ogoni who meet this criteria are enrolled in the training program at SONGHAI farms.
So today is my first time to see lettuce in seed. I have never seen in my life before. So now I'm going to take a food, monsu, both onions and the seed, monage, kwazuri.
I'm one of the beneficiaries of the training ongoing by HYPREP and UNITAR. And I am in the poultry department. I've been here for a while. And you can see they gave us safety equipment to prevent infection while we take care of the birds. We've been taught how to brood the birds in this past time. We've been taught how to vaccinate these birds and the days interval. We've been taught the importance of the vaccine in the birds. We've been taught how to give them antibiotics. Before now, in our local area, we don't know how to vaccinate our birds. We didn't know it was important to give antibiotics to our birds. But our few time here, we've been able to vaccinate our birds and also to give them antibiotics against diseases.
The training planning and execution are coordinated by UNITAR and HYPREP, with the help of SONGHAI Farms Management under the Rivers State Sustainable Development Agency.
We found ourselves being invited to participate by way of providing the right, training environment and the right tools and the right resources to be able to migrate women from that vulnerable, less privileged stage to being able to be positioned to be highly skilled, income generating set of people that will be able to transform from their lives and their families and be able to impact, into widespread society as they keep continuing to build themselves.
The selection process is usually done by the HYPREP, and then the list of the trainees that had been selected is handed over to UNITAR, and then UNITAR is responsible for bringing down the trainees to the facility here in SONGHAI farm. Upon arrival, the SONGHAI training team receives the trainees from UNITAR, and then these trainees are usually housed in the SONGHAI farm facility because the training program is in situ, and so all trainees are accommodated in the farm facility here. And then it's a robust package for them. Everything that has to do with accommodation and feeding is included in the package. And we also have the bits for extracurricular activities in the evenings, where the trainees will have time off in the gymnasium and others in the field to participate in sports. And then also indoor games are also provided for the trainees.
The SONGHAI Rivers Initiative is our intervention and agricultural nerve center that helps to build the capacity of smallholder farmers in around the state and beyond. Also strategically located within the same area where the women come from. So it became a very strong advantage to use that center. SONGHAI is highly equipped. It sits on 304 hectares of land, open to a total of 42 production streams, of which a number of them are commercial, some are demonstration units for the purpose of training and building capacity. The farm teaches farmers and new and existing farmers how to successfully integrate small-scale farm holdings with a view to becoming commercially active and become active participants in mainstream agricultural economy of the state and beyond.
Okay, the accepted mortality rate is the proportion of dead birds incurred in a batch of poultry or a given field.
These are my students. As earlier mentioned, my name, I'm Mr. Abraham Eofruma from Rivers State. I'm the instructor here who teach these students how to brood poultry beds sent by HYPREP and UNITAR. And we are the SONGHAI supervisors who is training them up to become a useful citizen and to know how to brood poultry. And we start by teaching them from our brooding pen. Start with the day-old chicks and brood them. Teach them how to give them water, their food, their medication like vaccine and other things. And finally, transfer them when they are past the chick stage to adult stage. We transfer them to the adult pen, where we finally sell them to retailers or consumers in our society.
I am the instructor in charge of market garden. And it's a place where vegetable crops are grown for sales. So these are my trainees, the women. And the training actually has been a wonderful one. You could see them. All of them has known how to plant, especially lettuce, onions, cabbage, cucumber, watermelon, all these vegetables, they have known how to plant it.
I'm the instructor for the aquaculture department, and I just want to give you a brief of what we do here. We are having some students, and we're having the students from HYPREP for 1 week, even though the program is a very short, crashed program, but the response has been very, very positive. And so far so good. In this 1 week, we have students who are giving us testimonies, who are showing that if they are fully supported, they can be real agro-entrepreneurs in aquaculture department.
I learned that this fish, when you rear it from the stages of it, is from the eggs. After the eggs, you've got the larva, from larva to the fingerings, to the fries, from fries to the fingerings. After fingerings, post fingerings. Then after the fingerings, you have the juveniles. After the juveniles, you have the post juveniles, the jumbo, and the grow out and adult stage. That's the last stage.
I thank the UNITAR and the rest of SONGHAI. I thank them for I thank God for making it possible for us to be here. Not because we are worthy to be here, neither are we supposed to be among the Ogoni women. If it were to be selected, we wouldn't have been here. But by His special grace, it has been possible for us to be here today. And what I learned also for the aquaculture, where I am today. When I was in my place, I know nothing about aquaculture, but I have come here today to know most things about aquaculture. I know something about the flow through, which if I was in my house, I know nothing about flow through. But here I am today. I said, may God continue to bless them. And also, I pray that they should empower us so that after all these are learning, we shall never go back and sit in the house the same. Thank you.
The sustainability of this program is guaranteed with the cooperative strategy designed by the implementing partners, where women are merged into small groups having affiliations and support from Bank of Industry, BOI, Bank of Agriculture, etc.
This is the first time a program has been designed to follow up the participant to the stage where the participant actually produces and sells of what he or she has learned. It's not one-off, it's continuous. And we're going to keep following them until we make sure that they have succeeded in their chosen skills. They are also learning feed formulation so that they don't have to rely on the market forces to be able to feed their animals. This is a strategy that will also reduce costs while improving. I'm positive that this program is going to change lives in Ogoni land.
I must say I feel very nostalgic on this memorable day of your passing out from this 1 week intensive agribusiness training program. That on behalf of the management and the entire staff of SONGHAI Rivers Development Initiative Farm, we want to say thank you for the time you have spent with us. We are pleased to inform you that you have done very well, excellently well. May we put our hands together for ourselves.
Make well, work very hard, create time to be among those that will work very, very hard, to be known and to be seen, so you learn well and you're identified as those who are taking this program seriously.
As women, we are game changers in our communities, in our families. As women, we should go back to our community and make a difference from all we have learned on SONGHAI.
We from the poultry department, we've been taught a lot, from the genesis of poultry to almost the ending of it. First of all, we were taught that you don't just venture into poultry business. I was shocked to hear that there is a particular land to be used for poultry. Coming here, we thought we'd just go back home and build something and start our poultry, but our lecturer told us that your poultry land must be 5% slope, and that we did not know.
Before we came to this camp, we never knew what aqua means. But now we understand the word aqua, that aqua means water. And as student of aquaculture department, we now understand that aquaculture means the rearing of fish and other aquatic organisms in a controlled and semi-controlled environment.
I have never seen lettuce with my eye any day, but here I have seen lettuce. And we have been taught how to plant lettuce. In 3 weeks' time, that lettuce will grow to maturity. Just this 1 week we are here, we plant the lettuce on light, accurately, the centimeter, the spacing is marvelous.
We say thank you to UNITAR. We say thank you to HYPREP. We say thank you to SONGHAI Rivers. We say thank you to all our instructors, and we are sure that we will do all.
We believe that with the success we've realized so far and how the partnership, the collaboration that UNITAR has had with RSSD and SONGHAI Rivers, it has been a wonderful experience. We believe that going forward into the post-training era, we're going to have a successful training and then have more Ogoni women become more self-sufficient and having livelihood culture, and the program will make more meaning to them and to all of us.
We expect to see women whose livelihoods have been devastated by oil pollution, oil mining pollution, and other activities, oil-related activities, having a source of livelihood. We would like to see women cooperatives in the area, selling, trading, and general commerce going on in these communities.
So, so far, so good, and all we need as a UN agency is to deliver service and make sure that we follow through with this program, especially for the beneficiaries, whom we really, think that deserve, to have this program get reintegrated into their traditional livelihood without any disruption and so on. And we crave for support from both the federal government of Nigeria, River State government, and of course try and invite other of my colleagues in the UN system. I have actually contacted the resident representative of UN Women, because this is about women, this is about empowering women, and see how we can all work together to empower these women and get them back, to their traditional livelihood.
The Ministry of Agriculture really appreciates what UNITAR has done in concert with the SONGHAI farmers. The state government is totally behind them and supporting everything that we do that will bring a value chain to the agricultural development in the state, and to even ask for more like Oliver Twist, because we have more people that are ready to be trained. And the Ogoni people, I'm sure they are also very happy. By the grace of God, I happen to have come from Ogoni land. So I'm not only talking as the Commissioner of Agriculture, but also talking as an Ogoni son. And I say the effects of that training have been far-reaching. To God we say we give all the glory.
One poster to UNITAR. One poster to HYPREP. Another poster to SONGHAI Rivers. Another poster to Poultry Department.
And then one poster to all those in Poultry Department, Bassey, and Bassey.